What if I told you that in 1946, a masked killer hunted couples on lovers' lanes, attacking every weekend for 10 weeks straight, and was never caught? And 22 years earlier, three men vanished from a cabin in the wilderness, only to be found months later floating under the ice. Two different killers, two different decades. One terrifying truth: in America, some predators simply disappear into the night. February 22, 1946, Texarkana, a town split perfectly down the middle, half in Texas, half in Arkansas. It's a Friday night. The war is over. America is celebrating. Jimmy Hollis and Mary Jean Larry drive to a secluded lover's lane after the movies. They're young, in love. Then at 11:55 p.m., a flashlight beam cuts through their window. A man in a white cloth mask, eye holes cut out like something from a nightmare, orders them out at gunpoint. He pistol whips Jimmy, cracking his skull into places. He assaults Mary Jean, then he vanishes into the darkness. Both survive. But it's only the beginning. 3 weeks later, Saturday night. 17-year-old Polly-Ann Moore and her boyfriend Richard Griffin are found dead in their car, both shot in the back of the head. Griffin was shot 4 times. Moore was sexually assaulted before being killed. April 14th, Sunday morning. 15-year-old Betty Jo Booker and 17-year-old Paul Martin are found dead on a country road. Betty Jo was a high school junior, sorority member, band officer, winner of scholastic prizes. She was a former Little Miss Texarkana. Her high school ended classes early so hundreds could attend her funeral. May 3rd, the pattern breaks. This time the killer doesn't attack lovers on a dark road. Virgil and Katie Starks are at home in their farmhouse. Windows open on a warm spring night. They're listening to the radio. Then shots through the window. 8 people attacked, 5 dead, 10 weeks, all on weekends. The press dubbed him the Phantom Killer. Texarkana became a ghost town after dark. Residents armed themselves. At sundown, they literally locked themselves indoors. Businesses set curfews. The Texas Rangers arrived, including the legendary Lone Wolf Gonzalez. Nearly 400 people were arrested. All false leads. Then investigators found their man, Yael Swinney, a career criminal. His wife claimed he confessed, but she refused to testify. Without her testimony, there was no case. Swinney was never charged with murder. The Phantom Killer was never caught. December 1923, 1,000 miles away and 22 years earlier, another nightmare was unfolding in Oregon's frozen wilderness. Edward Nichols, Roy Wilson, and Dewey Morris, 3 fur trappers from Bend, Oregon. They moved into a remote cabin near Little Lava Lake to trap furs for the winter. In exchange for shelter, they agreed to care for 5 valuable foxes being raised for fur. Before Christmas, Nichols returned to town in good spirits. The trapping was going incredibly well when Morris's brother noticed mink traps in the area had been left unmaintained for months. He grew suspicious. In April, a search party traveled to the cabin. The door was ajar. Snow had drifted inside. What they found was chilling. The table was set, food still in the pots, burnt, a blood-stained hammer. Outside, they found blood, hair, a human tooth. The 5 foxes had been expertly skinned. Then they noticed a hole had been cut in the frozen lake, refrozen. They'd have to wait for the thaw. When the ice finally melted, all 3 bodies were found floating in Little Lava Lake. All 3 had been shot and beaten with the hammer, then dragged across the ice and dumped in the lake. Police identified Charles Kimsey, a wanted man with multiple aliases and a violent history. A year earlier, he'd quarreled with Nichols over a stolen wallet and threatened to kill him. On January 24, 1924, just days after the murders, a man approached a Portland traffic officer carrying a gunny sack of furs. The man sold the furs at Schumacher Fur Company for $110. He presented Edward Nichols' trapper's license. He said his name was Ed Nichols. In 1933, Charles Kimsey was finally spotted in Montana. When arrested, he immediately said, "They think I killed those trappers in Oregon, but I didn't." During the trip back to Oregon, when police tried to discuss the case, Kimsey snapped, "You can ask all the questions you want, but I won't answer a damn one of them." The fur dealer couldn't positively identify Kimsey after 9 years. Kimsey claimed he'd been working in Colorado during the murders. His alibi was airtight. Kimsey was convicted of attempted murder of a stagecoach driver and sentenced to life. He served only 25 years. He was paroled in 1957 in his 70s. He went back to Idaho, lived out his days. If he knew anything more about the 3 men under the ice, he never said. 2 different killers, 2 different decades, 2 unsolved mysteries. The Phantom Killer attacked 8 people and killed 5. Yao Sweeney was the prime suspect but never charged. Lava Lake is now a popular fishing spot. Families vacation there. Few know what happened beneath that ice a century ago. 11 people, 2 cases, 0 convictions. Sometimes the monsters walk free. Thank you for watching.